of selfishness, self-absorption, immaturity, and greed.
All right, so outside of Chewy, are we pro accountability?
15% of the people just did it for spite.
You think?
Yes, everyone piles on.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable. This time, they are the ones who will pay.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running.
Josh, what did you just say to Gabe?
She's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever.
That I need to get him belly tape. Or I need to put a leash on him to keep. He's a squirmer.
He's a tapper.
He's everywhere in the camera views. It's hard to keep him in there. Sometimes I look up and I see like a third of Gabe's face.
Yeah, you're a bobber. You're a weaver.
Are you a nervous Nelly?
I've got a lot of I've got a lot of energy, I would say. I'm always moving.
Yeah.
If I'm on the phone in the house, I'm pacing.
You tap.
I tap. My friends make fun of me on the golf course because I'm usually kind of pacing around. Yeah.
I do like Joshy saying you need a leash.
Yes.
You got to put a leash on you.
Well, because, he's like, trying to pretend that he can tell me what to do if he puts a piece of tape. I'm going to listen to a piece of tape.
They got stuff for that, you know.
Medicine.
Gummies.
I also I get yelled at a lot by Hunter from Mr. Relevant for moving around too much, so I have the same problem. So I recognize it in other people as well.
Okay, so this is a pot calling the kettle black situation. That's what we got going on right now.
No, this is not pot calling the kettle black. This is takes one to know one.
Yes.
Right? From our kids' days? When you were a kid? Like, I'm rubber, you're glue. Those are all like the things you said as a kid. Takes one to know one.
Who's Hunter?
He's a producer in Madison for Mr. Irrelevant.
How many people do you know in this company? I know 4.
3 of them are in this room.
I mean, I actively work with him, so I know a lot of people. Hundreds, probably.
I mean, actively work doesn't really apply to everyone over here. That's probably the distinction.
I left the studio here yesterday, and they were making a racket upstairs in the area. And I wanted to tell them to shut the hell up, but I didn't know anyone. So it was kind of awkward.
Well, good. I'm glad that you didn't do that, buddy.
First and foremost.
What?
Only old people use the word racket.
Yes. I am
Unless you're talking about tennis or pickleball.
Yes,
well,
correct.
pickleball's a paddle. So
you know,
unless you're
another
talking about a
great word that my dad used? Bellowing. Will you stop the bellowing? It's a great word.
No one uses bellowing anymore.
I'm going to bring it back.
Right? Bellows always remind me of accordions. Oh, because that's the bellows, right?
If that's what you sure.
Does noise bother you?
It depends. So
like when the kids are fighting or making too much noise?
Yeah. And I've told the girls, like, I can handle it up to a certain point. But, like, yesterday the girls were singing a song in the car, and it was like...
Was it the song that never ends?
No, it was like chicken, taco, chicken or something. And like they just kept saying those combination of words over and over again. Is anybody else familiar with this? I'd never heard it was just like a thing, I guess. Taco chicken.
So I live across the street from a elementary school.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know how they currently do school, but during the day, kids are literally always outside. Like it seems like there's recess basically from the moment school starts to the moment school ends. And honestly, the background noise of the kids chattering is not much, but when they get to the screaming, that will, like, I don't know what it is about kids, but they reach scream so often and so regularly that will, like, make me go, like, all right, I've had enough. But otherwise, it's like, it's cute. They're having fun. They're playing tag.
But also, it's not like you were sitting down and trying to do work yesterday, Chew. You were just walking
leaving.
past.
Yeah.
This was like a 5-second thing that you wanted to tell people to be quiet, even though you were walking out and you didn't have to deal with it.
I really think noise is starting to bother me because I went to my one son's graduation, and it was graduate school, so it wasn't as big, but it was in an auditorium, and the guy is trying to start, and people wouldn't shut up. And I was this close from just screaming, shut the hell up. I mean, I was.
Can you imagine our guy?
Well, that's because he wants to get out of there. He wants the program to start so then he can get out of there as soon as humanly possible.
Bingo.
So it wasn't so much the noise.
No, it was 9:06, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 6 minutes late.
Yeah, it's supposed to start at 9.
Yeah.
Well,
What the
yeah,
hell is going on here?
I've sat in meetings with you upstairs where I could just tell,
Yeah.
okay, we're losing Chew. We're losing him. We're going to have to wrap this sucker up. If there's anything that we want to discuss afterwards, we can, but we need to cut him loose.
When he asks the question, so we
We
done?
good?
We good.
I think
That's him saying, I'm leaving.
I think every family and friend group needs a designated shush person. The person who, when you're in public and maybe you're at dinner or at the bar or wherever you are, and the group gets a little too rowdy, you look at everyone and go, "Hey, let's tone it down."
Kind of like that designated get back person on like an NBA bench.
Okay, but do you want to be that guy?
I am that guy.
Oh, you're the heavy.
I'm always aware of my group or my friend group or my family bothering other people. I'm hyper aware of what other people. When you start getting looks, you know you're being too loud.
How many deep before you give up that post, though? Because if you're out,
it's probably like around 8 to 10.
Okay.
Like if we can all fit at a table and we're all at a table, I can be like, "Hey, can we stop dropping F-bombs? There's a child right behind us."
No, I'm talking how many
beers?
How many beers deep before you abandon your post?
Typically, I'm not going to be in a place with kids after 6 beers, so it's usually a pretty safe thing. Because if we're at the bar and it's 10 p.m., I don't really care what's going on then. But
I agree with you, though, with the F-bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually have to go, Angie, enough, okay? You're not in the body shop. She has body shop mouth, you know? And it just comes out. It's just vomits. Like, it's a 3-year-old right there.
Right. The 3-year-old could touch you if they turned around. Yeah.
Coming from a guy who used to coax my nephew when he was a little kid, when he said eat fish, he would say eat shit. And I'd be like, Jake, eat fish, eat shit.
So you would encourage it.
I'm that guy. Yeah.
So you and Josh, you're on opposite ends of the spectrum on this
kind
one.
of.
Then it would appear.
I'll get a kid to say bad words.
Wait a
Saying
minute.
bad words.
Doesn't that directly contradict your post?
Kids could get away with a lot more. It's funny. Adults being obnoxious and bothering other people, to me, is one of that really bothers me. I don't know what it is. It's just like, can we just be adults for a moment here?
Little trigger.
Yeah.
Little trigger for you.
I mean, unless you're the parent, little kids saying bad words is objectively funny,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I
unless-
think even if you are the parent,
Well, but you got to keep it together if you're the parent.
you don't have to keep it together. What you do have to say is, "Hey, don't say that at school."
Yeah.
So we do. Hey, it's funny here. Don't say it at school. I'll get a call. That'll be good for no one. Hey, Joshy, did you have a big night last night? Did you do a little thing? Did you make a little change?
A big night in my world, certainly. I put in the window AC. It's been very hot.
Yes.
Our bedroom is on the side that has another house very close, so we don't get a good breeze. Bedroom gets really hot. I put the AC in, put it all the way down, and slept in that icebox, and it was the best day of my life. I've been sweating in bed.
Oh, is that why you woke up the other night? You woke up the other day with the shirt around your neck?
Yes, I would imagine those are connected. The dog has recently taken to jumping into bed in the middle of the night, so you got an extra heater there on you. But I was like a little hesitant. It feels too early. May 14th feels like a way too early. Like I remember growing up, dads, moms love holding on to not turning on the AC until the walls start sweating before you can turn the AC on in Wisconsin. But I said, hey, I'm an adult. I could do it. I want to sleep comfortably. Guess what?
Wait, so it wasn't so much the air conditioning. It was what the air conditioning represents.
Yes.
Which is, I'm a grown-ass man.
Yes.
I can put the air conditioning in if I want to. I told you guys I cracked last week. Walked over to that sucker. Boop, 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 down to 62. And I was like, okay. I'm telling you, man, it was so hot in my room. It was 68. I was sweating. I was like,
if I were to guess, we've got one person here who's a holdout on AC for as long as possible.
What's up?
Yeah.
Gabe.
His name's Gabe Neitzel.
Yeah. Why?
You open up the windows. It's fine.
Oh, no.
I have lived so long without like air conditioning in cars that I had, air conditioning in apartments. Like, nah, it's fine.
Do you now have central,
We do have central in the house.
and you haven't turned it on yet?
No.
When do you think you will? What does the temperature need to reach inside?
Consistently, though, that's the other thing. Consistently, right? Because you can't just have one day of like a 76 and then go back to a 60-degree day. You got to have a few days of what?
I mean, it's going to be in the 80s before we turn it on.
In the house?
Well, no, outside.
Oh, I was going to say.
Outside.
Hey, I got a good health sauna in my basement. Gabe's got a good health sauna that he lives in.
No, I mean, but also, again, my wife is Puerto Rican. She likes it a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be turning on the AC. I guarantee you she will turn on the AC before I do.
So that's interesting because I was going to say, are you more uncomfortable than you'd like to be, but she's okay with it, so you've compromised?
No.
But I think you would have to reach way more than that if it was just you. If it was just Gabe with central AC, you'd need like 83 indoors before you finally crank.
Is there a chance you go the whole summer without using it? Have you done? I mean, again, you mentioned how you've had homes that haven't had it. You cars, same, grew up. You'd be like, roll down the windows.
You know what's different now? The dog. When the dog gets to panting inside.
So, yes, that too. You got to make sure the dog's comfortable. Yeah. So that certainly would factor in before. Like, if I see the dog is uncomfortable, then I would turn on the AC before turning it on for myself.
Right. What's your temp?
Me? I don't get a say. But if I don't like it, I just go downstairs.
Okay.
Because there's 2 bedrooms in the lower level, and that's chilly. Without AC. I mean, without AC, I bet it doesn't get above 70. So that's a nice
Pretty
little...
good. Pretty nice.
On a way to camp.
Wait, how much of a say did you have? Did you have to run this idea that you did past Mussolini?
It was agreed upon.
Okay.
So
she was on board.
We had both been rather uncomfortable at night, and the windows are fine. We left like the windows open in the rest of the house. It got a little hot, especially when you're making dinner, but you live with it. You move to another room. There's a breeze. It's fine. But sleeping to me is the one sacred place where it's like, I got to get up at 4 a.m. I don't want to be rolling and tossing at 2 because it's way too hot in the room. It was agreed upon.
The optimal temperature for sleeping is generally considered anywhere between 60 to 67 degrees.
That's lush.
This range promotes natural thermoregulation and a more restful sleep. What'd you get it down to?
Oh, I had that sucker set to as low as it could go.
Which
I was basking in
60?
it.
What are we thinking?
I think it goes after 65. It just goes to low. It says, all right,
because
this
it's the
is
window unit.
Yeah, this is all you get. They don't let you.
Well, it's just like the hotels you go to, by the way.
push the limits.
65. Oh, you want a colder? No, that we don't allow that here.
Can you sleep without blankets?
No, I need something on me.
Yeah.
I just need something like on my upper body. So a lot of times in the summer, I'll just have a little sheet.
Tucking your sheets into the
But
top
he's
of
got
the
his
bed?
foot hanging out.
You
of
get the
course.
leg. You're wearing shorts, and the legs hang out underneath. You get a little, blanket up top, and legs are free flowing underneath.
You're a lot weirder than I thought.
And you already thought he was pretty strange, didn't you?
Yes. Holy
All right,
crap.
we got to take a break. We're all warmed up. We're all stretched out here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We've got Jason Wilde coming up. The Packers and the rest of the league released their schedules yesterday. Some weird videos, some wild videos that teams used to release their schedules, including the green and gold. What's the toughest stretch? What's the easiest stretch? How do you feel about the Week 5 bye? We will discuss all of that and more this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
BOGO on Connie's original thin crust. That's right. You can find it right now. Pick and save in Metro Market for 2 weeks. So this is going on through May 27th. You buy one, get one on Connie's original thin crust. And with Connie's frozen pizza, you can enjoy pizzeria quality without the pizzeria prices. Great crust on the Connie's that you can always come to expect. So find them right now. Buy one, get one on Connie's original thin crust at Pick and Save and Metro Market now through May 27th.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Still a slow go on 41, 45 north and south between about North Avenue and Appleton due to the construction, as well as an earlier crash on 41 north near Watertown Plank Road. It's out of the way of traffic now on the right shoulder, but crews are still working to get things cleared up. 43 north from the Marquette up to Capitol Drive going to be slow as well. We've also got some possible road debris on 94 south near Ryan Road. And again, the fog is thick out there this morning. Headlights on and extra space as you head out the door. And checking the Storm Team forecast for today, a dense fog advisory in effect for our lakefront counties and Washington and Waukesha counties as well until 10 a.m. Then this afternoon, we're watching for possible severe thunderstorms. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are all possible this afternoon and evening. High of 75 near the lake, up to 86 inland. Will clear out then later tonight with a low down to 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Club Paragon Greenfield, Deer Camp Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, New Berlin Ale House, and Stenny's Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Don't mind me just watching Bijan Robinson tackle Rainbow Road here on ATL Cart. That Falcons release video is pretty good. Let's get Jason Wilde's opinion on the Green Bay Packers schedule and their release. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Is someone going to explain to me their release video? Because clearly I'm too old to get it.
I didn't get it either.
The Packers release video?
The dream sequence?
Yeah.
I don't think that can be explained.
but certainly not without assistance.
I
Like
wasn't
said.
sure if I was missing a horror movie reference or something.
I mean, there's a couple
Right,
in
so-
there.
Right.
So that's not like a parody. Like, remember a couple years ago, the Bears did one of that show on FX where the guy owns the restaurant. Is that called The Bear?
The Bear.
Yeah. I got that reference. I never watched the show, but I knew about it. I understood it. Whatever that was yesterday, I just assumed that I'm not cool enough or aware enough to have understood it. You're telling me that was not a send-up of something that's popular that I'm just not cool enough to know about?
Not that I'm aware of, Jason. Not that I'm aware of.
But
I feel better.
If any of our loyal listeners did understand the Green Bay Packers schedule release video, please, by all means, give us a call, 800-990-3776, or jump in the YouTube stream or jump on the Carbless Talk and text line. I would love some clarity as to whatever the hell it was I watched last night. Jason, your reaction to the schedule, what was the first thing that jumped out to you?
We're going to find out if they're contenders or pretenders pretty damn quick, right? I mean, those first two games, again, I try to avoid hyperbole, but I'm not sure I remember a schedule that had 2 games in 5 days to start the season. I think maybe they did this in 2018 as well, where they played and then they had a Thursday night game thereafter. I'll have to check my records. But the two teams that were the two of the best teams in their conference, 2 teams that each went to the NFC Championship game the last 2 years, and you got them at home. And Gabe and Strofe and I were talking about this last night. Mike McCarthy would tell me I have a polluted mindset for saying this, but you don't win those games. You only have 6 home games left on the schedule with 15 games left in the year. So they better get the job done. I used Goody's line about urgency as the jumping off point for my story on Channel 3000. I mean, you want urgency, they better have it right out of the chute.
I mean, really, the first 4, Jason. I mean, what's acceptable coming out of that? I mean, 3-1 would be best.
Well,
right?
too, I
you
take it
could
one
go-
game at a time.
Yeah, but you know how we used to break it up, Jason, into
I know
4
you did.
quarters.
Yep.
That's
because you guys all lied about going one game at a time.
That's true. Well, we all thought we were going 16-0.
That's all, and I thought maybe you would back in 1997 until we went to Indianapolis. Still can't believe that.
We got our guy
but
to go. We scored 38 points.
That's true, and you made Lindy and Fonnie and Tony Mandrich very happy that day. 3-1 would be great, right? And I'm assuming, and we know that's dangerous, but the Browns are going to take a while to figure out what the heck they are.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, maybe playing the Lions in the opener is a good thing, right? I mean, they've got a bunch of talent. We know that. They've won a bunch of games the last 2 years. We know that. They're 7-1 against the Packers in the last 8 games, but they do have the 2 new coordinators. They lost Ben Johnson. They lost Aaron Glenn. So maybe they're kind of, finding their footing early in the season still, and maybe that's a good time to get them, especially at home. But I don't know. We do this exercise, and I know this is how you guys frame the link on X. What's the Packers' record going to be? I'm struggling to actually decide what I want to pick them to go. Am I the only one with that? 'Cause
No.
I don't know what to think.
Well, I feel like I had a better feel for this team last year. And maybe that's because they were playing
Totally
the
agree.
AFC South, and you knew that they were going to have some easier games, and they went undefeated against the AFC South. But, Jason, I mean, obviously they have to be better than 1-5 in the division this year if they want to win as many games last year, just
Hard
because
to be worse.
the teams that they're playing. And 5 of those games come in the last 7 weeks. So it's a tough start to the season, as you mentioned, but also some really important ones in the last 2 months of the season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's fascinating that it's set up that way. To have it backloaded that way with the division games, to start with the division game and then not play another game in the division for like 2.5 months is crazy. So again, I said this to you guys last night too. Like, I always think of Ron Wolf, because back in those days when the schedule came out, we got to talk to Ron that night, and we got his initial thoughts. As opposed to, it looked to me like they didn't, unless I missed it on Packers.com because I was having a fever dream. It didn't look like they even talked to LaFleur this year to get his initial reaction. Because usually I cherry pick those quotes because they don't make them available otherwise. And I didn't see anything from him. Like, he's going to be, I can guarantee he's unhappy with the timing of the bye. And I would think that he'll say, well, we got to play all the games. It doesn't really matter. But we all know that the old saying in the NFL about it's not who you play, it's when you play them really does matter. And to have all those NFC North games compacted into that window and to only have 2 home games in December, Ron Wolf would have been really unhappy about that. And so it's great. I was among the people that kept saying, oh, God, they haven't opened at home since 2018. Matt LaFleur has never played a week 1 home game, and he's going into his 7th season as the coach. That's crazy. Well, they gave him a home game in the first week, and then they gave him another home game 5 days later.
Jason, do you buy into conspiracies at all? And Josh, you can cue up the X-Files music if you want to on this one, because this is Josh DiMaggio's conspiracy theory. Josh thinks, I'm going to put it out there for you, and then you tell me.
What this is.
Yes, you do. You just haven't put 2 and 2 together yet. Josh DiMaggio has thrown out the idea that Green Bay got a home opener at home. Well, the opener for the week 1 at home. No international and no Christmas game because Mark Murphy threw it out there into the universe that they should ban the tush push. It's not bad.
Now he's having a fever dream.
It's not bad, though. I was like,
it's a great. It's great. It's great. I don't think it works that way. And again, I personally, and I know this is an unpopular thing to do at ESPN Wisconsin, but I am supporting Ben Brust. And Lord knows I don't normally do that. But my conspiracy theory, which I don't even know if this qualifies, is that they planned on sending the Packers to Dublin. And then the Steelers got involved with Aaron Rodgers. And the Steelers said, look, we'd really like to have that game be the Packers at home. We think that would be a really good game. The TV networks said, hey, we really like the looks of that. We don't want that game to be played, at 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever it would be played stateside. And Ben went from having good intel from his, dare I say, sources to being wrong. And while Ben and I certainly did not see eye to eye on some of his behavior when he came to training camp a couple of years ago, I am Team Ben on this. Because not only that, but now they have the Vikings playing in Europe in back-to-back weeks, which they've never done before, right? Unless maybe it was the Jaguars when they were playing like half their home. Yeah, but they don't count, right? I mean,
and they did it in the same country, didn't they?
They did it. Yeah, the same stadium. They just play it in wherever they were, Wembley or wherever they were playing in back-to-back games.
Right, and they made sense to do that because, like the Champions League, they're on the verge of being relegated every year anyway. And they were playing like half their home schedule in London at that time. So, I don't have any evidence of this. I do have some people in the league office that I know pretty well that I would like to just say, hey, was there a shift in the thinking on this in terms of how Rodgers was a factor in wanting that game in Pittsburgh? Because I would really like to know that. And again, I usually like to take shots at Ben any chance I get but I'm on his team on that one. So that conspiracy theory, I believe. The other one, I mean, I don't know, Joshy. It is pretty good. I will give you that. But I don't want to believe that the schedule makers think that way. But to your point on the Christmas game, again, look back on last year. Now it was Saturday, Wednesday last year, and this year Christmas is on Thursday. So you're able to play Sunday game teams on Christmas, which you could not have done last year. But what they did with Christmas last year was they had 2 games on Saturday before Christmas involving obviously 4 teams, and then those 4 teams then played different opponents from that same pod on Christmas. And they didn't do that this time around.
Jason, Drew Rosenhaus, do we know who he talked to? If it was Goody, because I texted my old agent, and I'm like, did you ever talk to Ron? And he's like, no. If there was an issue, you talk to Mike Reinfeld, who was the Rust Ball of my day. Is this a product? Now, because Ron was insulated, Ron would be like, don't tell me how to run my team. I don't need to tell you your guy's number one, okay? Talk to Reinfeld. Is this a product of the 3-headed monster, or is this because today's players need positive reinforcement because they're soft?
Jason, before you answer that question, can we just have a moment here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for Chewy doing some research / background / investigative reporting?
My guy's a grinder.
Kid.
Right.
All right. I called my agent to see, is this normal? Is this SOP? All right, Jason, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because I was not sure how to speak after hearing him actually do legwork. Sorry, Chew. So I heard the clip from Adam on your show, and I want to emphasize this. Adam is so incredibly better at his job than I am. So I don't want this to sound in any way disrespectful to him. At the same time, I was very surprised that someone would take their own report and then say, basically, that the media blew it out of proportion, and it's not that big of a deal. Because my theory, and you can play the X-Files music again, is that this did happen. Okay. Now, I personally don't believe that Goody would have ever, or Russ Ball, frankly, would have ever said, don't worry, your guy is still our top receiver. That just doesn't sound like something the Packers would say, even if they're trying to reassure an agent. I think they would say something more to the lines of, hey, we still think the world of Jaden. We think he's a really good player. This pick wasn't because we're unhappy with him, or something along those lines. But this idea that we're going to walk this back, and too much was made of it. I'm sorry. To me, that sounds like Drew Rosenhaus shared this information with Adam. Adam put it out there, and I don't think, again, this is just my opinion, I don't think Drew Rosenhaus realized that it made his guy look bad. He may have thought it made him look good, that he's fighting for his new client, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Could he have underestimated the negative prism that this would have been seen through? Like, did he? He's done this a really long time. Drew Rosenhaus has made billions upon billions of dollars for his guys over the years. Like, is it possible he just underestimated how this was going to be viewed?
Yeah, well, I told him, I said, he doesn't understand how it affects the dynamic of the locker room, okay? And what made it inflammatory is Stinovich saying there's competition at right tackle. To this point, Zach Tom's career is much better than Jaden Reed's, okay? So how is Zach Tom supposed to read into this? Okay, that's what made it inflammatory, because if if I come off my season that I had in my fourth year, and all of a sudden they're saying, I can't think of a player offhand, oh, he's our number one, but we're now going to have competition at tight end with me going into a contract year. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm calling my agent and saying, what the hell? That's what makes it inflammatory. You know, they just don't. And I love Adam, but the locker room is a living thing, Jason, right?
Yeah, and that obviously took me by surprise. We were talking about it yesterday in between assistant coaches. And he didn't say it once; he said it twice. And then I asked Luke Butkus about it, and the first thing he said was, "Well, I think if you talk to Zach, he would tell you he didn't have the kind of season he wanted to have." So they're not kidding, and you're right. You know, for a guy going in, look, they've got Sean Ryan. You know, Rob had that really good story about how he missed $2 million of an escalator by 2 snaps. He's in the last year of his contract. We already talked about Rashid weeks ago when they opened up his job for competition, which, again, this is a very delicate thing to me because, look, I don't want to sound like this is youth basketball and everyone should play the same amount because we're trying to develop as many varsity players as we can. Like, this is different. This is the NFL. It's a big boy league. So there should be competition. But at the same time, this mentality, and this goes to a much deeper question that we don't have time for today, which is when you decide to build your team this way, are you baking into the cake these kind of awkward situations? Because there are no established guys who've been on their second contracts for a while who are clear-cut starters that shouldn't be. They should have to work their asses off, but they shouldn't feel like they're looking over their shoulder. Those are all valid questions here. But the other weird thing before I go was yesterday both Ryan Mahaffey, the wide receivers coach, and Jason Vrabel, the passing game coordinator and former wide receivers coach, both of whom are in the wide receiver room, were just lathering on the praise of Jayden Reed. What a great leader he's been. He's been standing behind Matthew Golden and helping him every step of the way with their on-field work and all this other, and that's great. And I'm not saying it's not true, but it was almost like there was a market overcorrection of, hey, we know about the backlash against his agent asking about his role, and we want to make sure everybody knows that Jayden, A, has been here, right, which is not the case for some other players, and B, has been a great leader. And look, I don't think that this is some sort of like death knell for Jayden Reed. He's too good of a player to say, oh, he's soft and he wants to know his role and whatever else. But I don't think that it's unreasonable that he wanted to know, hey, what the hell's going on out here? I just think that putting it out into the ether makes anybody with the ability to think critically to say, hey, there are some issues with this team and the guys that they have all competing for second contracts right now.
Yeah, and I think that we're not sitting here saying this is DEFCON, but we're saying, hey, this was something that given all of and that was the other thing, right? Taking nothing away from Adam Schefter and his ability to cover the league really, really well, we thought like maybe there was a little bit of, you just don't know all of the details. The Romeo Dobbs detail that you mentioned yesterday, Gabe. You know, you mentioned the offensive line detail. Like there are other things at work here. The Jayden Reed thing didn't exist in a vacuum. And then to try to diminish the impact of that information. And now for all the people who are saying, whoa, wait, hold on. You know, and you know, like you said, thinking critically about it. I got people jumping in the mentions all the time that are like, this is a nothing burger. You guys are making this into something. And it's like, at some point, can you trust our judgment that like covering the team day in and day out, that when there is something like this, we're reacting to it naturally and organically. So I agree.
Thank you.
I don't think it was stated properly, but I also agree that I don't think Rosenhaus, and maybe even Adam to a certain degree, recognized all of the elements at play with that detail, with that information.
Yeah, the way I put it was they do not have a towering inferno 5-alarm fire, but they got a bunch of little brush fires. and those still require the fire department to put them out. You don't just let them burn, because then they do become an inferno. They become a wildfire. So Jenkins, Dobbs, the Jair situation is still out there, and the Reed situation. Those are all little fires that can be contained, right? But if they're left unattended and you don't call 911 and get Fire Marshal Bill out here, it's going to become an even greater problem. And then taking nothing away from Adam, but our really smart guy on the panel, Mark Chimura, adding in the Zach Tom thing. I don't know how Zach Tom feels about what was just said earlier in the week either. I haven't talked to him. But now there's another little brush fire. That's 5 of them that you've got to put out.
Jason, nobody is closer to the team than you. We appreciate you sharing your insight with us so frequently here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm sure what you really appreciate is I didn't oversleep for this segment. All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde can be heard on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. All right, we'll take a break, get back to the schedule, because my guys are a little nervous about at least one stretch here for the green and gold. We'll talk about that right after this.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, of course, you know what I'm going to say. Only one place to go. That place is the Jewelry Center. Best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. Among those, obviously, the selection that they have. If you're looking for a lab-grown diamond, naturally mined diamond, whatever you're in the market for when it comes to that engagement ring, they have it. But what I think separates the Jewelry Center, the helpful team and the great team that Dean the Dancing Machine has put together. They're always going to point you in the right direction. Whether you kind of have an idea, whether you don't have an idea, maybe go to a Pinterest page, bring that in. They're always going to make sure that you bring that dream diamond to life. Check out the inventory, any one of their 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Shop online at shoptjc.com. And when you head over there, make sure you tell them that Chew and Gabe sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Heavy this morning on 4145, anywhere between Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Appleton Avenue in either direction through the construction zone. Volume quickly starting to build up in other parts of the system as well, including 43 north from the downtown area all the way up to Capitol Drive, and on 94 north from the Plainfield curve up to Lincoln. Also going to see those backups starting to form as usual on 94 east from about 35th Street all the way back to about 68th. And the fog is still plenty thick out there this morning, so headlights on and give yourself extra space as you hit the roads. And checking that storm team forecast now, a dense fog advisory is still in effect for our lakefront counties as well as Washington and Waukesha counties until 10 a.m. We're also tracking the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms later today into the evening hours. Those storms could produce large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. It's all possible throughout the evening. High of 75 today, lakeside up to 86 inland. Storms will wrap up then overnight, clearing out with a low down to 55. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockeronthelake.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
Visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
From boreal forests to blooming prairie and over 10,000 lakes,
we go for the road less traveled.
Minnesota has stunning state and national parks.
Stop, inhale fresh pine air. Yeah, I love that.
Plan your trip at exploreminnesota.com. In Minnesota, you can get the hottest concert ticket in town.
Thanks everybody for being here.
While eating some of the best food in the nation.
I think I've said yum like 85 times.
Plan your trip at exploreminnesota.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I mean, I feel like we should ride the momentum here, gang, and just talk about the bird. We spent the entire break talking about the sandhill crane that the police shot in Oconomowoc. So let's just talk about it. We got a little time to kill here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. So, Joshy, give me the lowdown on this. Any more than what I just said?
Yeah, so there was a nuisance, quote-unquote, nuisance sandhill crane in a neighborhood in Oconomowoc. And the residents, or at least one resident of the neighborhood, decided to call the police on the sandhill crane because allegedly it was damaging and scratching cars by pecking it and doing some damage to the house.
I love you so much. I love that you're like, allegedly the bird was doing like, it's okay. You're like, the bird's not going to sue us.
No,
well, not now.
I'm trying to put the onus on the people of Lake Country and Oconomowoc who probably were just slightly inconvenienced. So where there's a nail, you find a hammer, and you call the cops on it so they can shoot it and kill the nuisance bird.
I hope it's the same bird that was digging in. You know me and my lawn, so when I come home and my front yard is all dug up, and I've been nice because I chase them off on my four-wheeler to shoo them. But they're annoying. Now, shooting it, that might have been a little extreme.
I mean, shoo. You know? Maybe it was just a miscommunication.
Yes.
There's going to be some people in the audience who don't like this.
Oh, of course.
But I can't imagine anything more Lake Country than calling the cops on a bird to have it then shot. You could
now
just
that's fair.
Find a wild. It is encapsulation of that area and how they treat things. Well, just kill it. What do you mean? There's plenty of wildlife organizations that will trap it, humanely move it, and it'll live a fun, happy life, not pecking at, God forbid, your Tesla gets a little scratch on it. Well, let's be honest. You're probably driving a big truck that you can't see over the hood of and would nail the crane anyway in the road, if we're being honest about it. But, just what? You called the cops on a bird.
I heard they taste good, though. They call it the white prime rib.
You're not supposed to know that.
How on earth have you heard that?
How do you think I know?
One of his buddies.
Blammer.
There you go.
That's one person and one person only.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the Blammer.
Would you care to rebuttal Josh's allegations, Josh's claims, Chew?
No, he's spot on.
So the body cam footage has been released. I have not watched said
I don't
body
need
cam
to
footage.
watch him shoot a bird.
But just based on some of the still photos that I'm looking at on Fox 6's website, like this is in the middle of a neighborhood. There are a lot of houses around, and the officer apparently said he conducted a full safety assessment of the area, determined it was safe to discharge a firearm.
What?
Like, I'm just saying, if I live in that area and a cop's just going to be firing a gun, maybe a little heads up.
Well, 2 homeowners said they would have liked a warning. I bet if you polled all the homeowners, they all would have liked a warning.
Someone called.
Yeah, not all of them.
You only
One
have
of
to be
them-
100 feet from a dwelling.
And you also have to not be, isn't there like pavement is an issue, ricochet?
This is 100% a residential area. Based on the photographs
yes.
there, this is 100% a residential area. And I do think Joshy makes a good point. There are wildlife places that certainly would have helped lure the bird away. Now, you want to add another detail to this fun saga. Somebody was feeding the crane.
Yeah.
Apparently, somebody was leaving food out for the crane, which is a big reason why it
Also a
kept
no-no.
coming back.
That is also a no-no. Feeding any wildlife of any type is a bad idea because it's going to attract them into more danger. You wouldn't expect them to get shot by the cops, but typically you would expect them,
Would you rather see
traffic.
it tased? Imagine tasing the bird.
You can't rule it out.
I know.
If shooting it's an option.
But they use like a tranquilizer, right, gun, and then you move them, as Joshy said, and then they wake up. They maybe are a little lightheaded, but they're still alive somewhere else.
Yeah. It's just how do you go back to your boys at the police station and be like, yep, dispatched, took care of the problem, boys.
They
Don't
put me
worry
on
about
desk
it."
duty. There's an investigation.
Check it off. Job complete.
This is like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever that show is.
And like, what do you do then? Because it is protected under the Migratory Bird Act. But are you allowed then to just shoot it because it's a nuisance?
Well, so what? You're shooting it, and now you're calling like the DNR to come remove it? 'Cause I don't think the officer was just grabbing the legs and dragging it out of there.
It has to make national media, doesn't it?
Great. Now I'm going to get texts from my friends who live elsewhere like, is this you? Question mark. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to. Joshy, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I love that Chewy confirmed every assertion you had about his neighbors. We'll be right back.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your pal Donald Driver here. For 10 years, I've been working with the Wisconsin DOT to get everyone to wear their seatbelt. And it's working. Nearly 90% of Wisconsin drivers buckle up, which makes me want to say to the ones who don't, come on, man. If you don't wear your seatbelt, you're going nowhere fast. Buckle up. If you don't, it can cost you money or a lot worse. Click it or ticket, and let's work together to save lives. Take my driving safety quiz at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems,
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like, you don't just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Finding money in your house can be a lot easier than you think because at Great Midwest Bank, they have a simple approach to turning your home's value into cash with their loyalty serviced home equity loans. And since they take the time to really get to know you, your loan or your line of credit is fast, easy, and it can pay for whatever you want. Do you want a boat? Do you want a pool? Do you want to do some home improvements? We could build a pool and maybe a new furnace because whatever it is you need, it is just a few clicks away with Great Midwest Bank. Experience your state of banquility now at Great Midwest Bank. Let's whip around real quick right now. Take a look at that schedule in front of you, the Green Bay Packers 2025 schedule. And tell me the game right now that you are most looking forward to for the green and gold. It could be a game that you think is an easy win, an easy dub, and they're going to need some of those as the season rolls on. It could be the most intriguing matchup. It could be the one that you think will tell you the most about the green and gold. Gabe, I'll go to you first.
Oh, this is easy. Steelers. I think it's Rodgers versus his former team.
Okay, that's a good one. Baltimore.
Ooh, why?
Make or break the season.
Really?
Sure. It always comes down to the last couple of games where you're going to be seeded in the playoffs. They lose that game, it could end the season. They win the game, could catapult them to where they want to go.
For me, it is the Washington Commanders. Early in the season, I love a September game at Lambeau Field. It's a gold package game on Prime Video, and it's going to be how much has that team improved? The Commanders were a playoff team last year. Packers get to measure themselves against the Commanders and see if they can hold their own and will be one of those top teams. It's easy to say the division games, obviously they open the season against Detroit. That will, I don't want to put too much emphasis on that one. I think both teams are going to be kind of getting their feet under them. We talked yesterday about the Lions having new coordinators. I don't know that the Lions team we see week 1 will be the Lions team that you're going to see at the end of the year. And so there's a part of me that feels like it'll be great and hopefully the Packers can get a win. But there's a part of me that is also like, even if they don't, there's so much movement that occurs from week 1 to week 18 that I don't think it's a make or break. Joshy, what about you? Is there a game on the schedule that you are most looking forward to?
It's the Rodgers game. If that comes to fruition, that's going to be a lot of fun. This Sunday night, it's just... And I really want to beat him.
But it's at Steelers. Wish it was at Lambeau.
Yeah. I mean, we could try and change it. We could maybe do what they did in the Dark Knight to Heinz Field.
Oh, blow it up?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then they have to play it in Green Bay.
Call the cop from Oconomowoc. He's on board.
Think he'll take care of it for us?
Release some
Gabe,
cranes.
that was funny, Gabe.
Release some cranes onto the field. Maybe they can be a nuisance. Take down the field goal post.
Tickle myself. That was funny.
The tickling yourself is what made us uncomfortable.
That comes later.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Plenty of volume and slowdowns right now. We've got a fresh incident actually as well in the Marquette from 43 north to 794 west. Possible road debris there. 94 east and west from about 27th Street all the way to 68th. Going to be slow through the stadium. 4145 has been a slow spot all morning through that construction zone between Appleton Avenue and Watertown Plank Road. We've also got slowdowns from the Plainfield Curve on 94 heading north from about the airport towards Oklahoma, and on 894 north from the Hale to about National Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And check in the storm team forecast. A dense fog advisory also impacting the morning drive. That fog will linger till about 10 o'clock this morning for our lakefront counties as well as Waukesha and Washington counties. Then we're watching severe weather potential this afternoon into the evening hours. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes all possible with any severe storms today. Mid-70s for highs near the lake, mid-80s inland, clearing out tonight and down to 55. Lake Lawn Resort offers everything you need from lakeside rooms to gourmet dining and a luxurious spa. Relax, recharge, and enjoy the best of Delavan. Book your stay now at lakelawnresort.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Preston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How do we feel about accountability? Are we pro accountability or are we out on accountability?
I don't think there's accountability anymore.
Anywhere?
Ladies and gentlemen, last year, our city council passed a Good Samaritan law. Now, this group from New York not only ignored, but as we will prove, they actually mocked the victim as he was being robbed at gunpoint.
Wow. Rich coming from the guy who's not held accountable here.
Gabe gets punished when you get in trouble and you're talking about accountability, a lack of accountability.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
They have quite a record of mocking and maligning. This is a history of selfishness, self-absorption, immaturity, and greed.
All right, so outside of Chewy, are we pro accountability?
15% of the people just did it for spite.
You think?
Yes, everyone piles on.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable. This time, they are the ones who will pay.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but run.
Diving into the 2025 Green Bay Packers schedule, Gabe, I did see some griping yesterday on social media about the gold package games. And it's not so much the opponents because they're playing the Commanders and the Eagles for those gold package games. It's the time of the games because people coming up from Milwaukee. Is there a legitimate gripe there for the 2-7-15 games?
I mean, it's unfortunate because it's not just primetime games, it's weekday primetime games, right? So you're playing the Thursday game and the Monday game. So driving up from Milwaukee is always the tough part there. So unfortunate for the gold package, but they had a really good schedule last year. They got all 3 divisional games. I'm sure the civil war between the green package and gold package will continue this year, much to my dismay.
I've never thought of it that way, but yeah, the North versus the South.
Well, I want us to come together as a Packer fan base, and it just doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen.
We will see how many other fans were in said stadium, and if, God forbid, the Packers lose, it will be blamed on the gold package.
But again, as I just mentioned, you're not really setting them up for success.
Well, that's the inherent flaw that we talk about every time people complain about this. Doesn't make a lot of sense to make people travel on a Thursday or Monday.
But again, the NFL's not factoring that in when they're putting together the schedule. It's unfortunate. It's the way that it is.
Wait, but doesn't Green Bay get to determine which games are gold package? The NFL wouldn't have anything to do with that, would they?
But they're the same every year. So it's the second game of the season.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes. So that's like the standard policy.
I thought the Packers had autonomy over which ones end up being the gold package, but you're saying no, that's locked in, and then it's whenever the games.
The process.
So how does it work every other year when you have more home games?
It alternates who gets more home games between green and gold.
Does the Milwaukee package get more in the 9 home game season? Or is it always
last year
3?
they did.
Yes. Last year they did. So you always get 3 tickets with that, and typically it was a preseason game. So this year you still have 3 tickets. It's just you get the Seahawks game and then the Commanders and Eagles game. Last year, because there was only 1 preseason game, that goes to the green package, and the gold package gets 3 regular season games.
So let's go through the schedule, Chew. It's your favorite thing when the schedule comes out every year. We do this. We play a little NFL music, and you tell us week by week whether or not it is a win or a loss for the green and gold.
You want me to read off the schedule? I mean, I already called my agent. Gee, I'm exhausted here.
This is your favorite game to play.
I know, and I'm starting off optimistic, Gabe.
Yeah? This is 2 years in a row where we've had to pry the schedule game out of him, even though he'll do it 79 times.
Oh, before the start of the season, yes. This is not the first time we'll play this game.
And we'll get a mid-season one, a quarter-season one.
I'm starting off optimistic, okay? Detroit, loss.
What? You just told me you were starting off optimistic.
Hold on. Washington, win.
Okay. For
Cleveland,
a second, I thought you were going to say loss.
Win.
Yep.
Dallas, win.
And there's your 3-1 start to the season that you were talking about with Jason. That's how he's looking at it optimistically.
Cincinnati, win.
Ooh.
Arizona, win.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, loss.
Damn. Losing to Rodgers?
Yeah.
That stinks.
Tough. That's tough. That's like going to Lambeau. Pittsburgh's a tough place to play. Arizona. No, hold on.
We're on Carolina.
Carolina, win. Philly, loss. Giants, win. Home, Minnesota, win. Detroit, loss. Chicago, win. Denver, loss. Chicago, win. Baltimore, win.
Oh!
Minnesota, loss.
Whoa. Joshy was doing the tabulating back there.
Got him at 11-6.
11-6.
That's when I played this game last night. That's what I came up with as well.
I'm assuming
the same game.
Little different, no. Little different here and there, but same record. I had him at 11-6.
Okay. I don't think they'll be as bad in the division.
They can't be.
I still think they lose twice to.
So you think their division record will be what? They'll have 2 losses in the division?
They will have 3 because they will lose at Minnesota.
Yeah, so he's got.
But I got him beating Chicago twice, and then splitting with everyone but Detroit.
At 11-6, they should be a playoff team, but are you thinking they're a wild card team then?
Yes, Detroit will win Detroit, because there's no way they're as banged up as they were last year. And the roster, for the most part, is pretty much the same.
But again,
the coordinators are different.
Yes.
I think the offensive coordinator is more important, I think, than the defensive coordinator.
The only thing that scares me about the start, because it is a tough start, and I took the high road, that they're going to be without Watson, and these guys are going to be young. And I'll be really interested because, we talked about the whole Jaden Reed thing with you're the number one. Dobbs knows he's out of here. So what's his attitude going to be going into the season? Is it going to be pout, or is it going to be, you know what, I'm going to have a hell of a year, and then I'll get paid by someone else? So that's my only question there.
What does your gut tell you on him?
Well, I know that when he read that, he's like, bleep this place. Every player vents to whoever, your agent, your significant other, another player. Everyone does. Everybody does. I did.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I played it well when Keith came in. But ultimately, I was like, screw this. Keith would, in the Super Bowl year, because my role was different, Keith would have 7 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. I'd have 1 for 6. I'd be like, bleep this. Everybody does it. Everybody complains. It's just hopefully he doesn't get to that level where it affects your play.
How strange is that? And I guess you never had to go through this, but going through a contract year knowing you're not coming back. Like having the motivation not necessarily be, oh, I'm going to, it's, okay, I got to play as best as I can so somebody else pays me.
You do that, but does the coaching staff, take away your touches because of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get mad. If they give you the opportunity to succeed, even though you're not coming back, that's fine. And it's harder when you're involved with the ball. You know what I mean? If you're an O-lineman, who cares?
Yeah, the job's the same.
Yeah. But if it involves the ball, then it becomes a problem. And, Dobbs got a track record. I hate to say it, but he's got a track record. But
well, that to me is always going to be something, even when he goes to whatever team he goes to next year.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough to get over to. You literally quit on your team. Like, I feel that's the biggest black mark that is so hard to overcome of, you took your ball and you went home.
Would you guys move him? Pittsburgh. Give me a
yes.
Give me a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I doubt you get a 4th round pick for him, but I would move him.
What do you think they get for him?
Conditional 6th.
Really? I mean, what was he?
He's a 4th.
I mean, he's not bad.
No, but he's not.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
He's a 3 on a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go to that then, because obviously we've been talking about the schedule, but I think that is interesting as well, because we talked to Jason earlier, and whether or not fans want to buy into this theory, Jason has his thumb on the pulse of this team. Nobody covers this team closer than Jason Wilde does. So when Jason says these things, I give them merit. I give them value. I don't overinflate them. We're not exaggerating the situation, but there may be a question about how does Brian Gutekunst handle these, as Jason said, tiny little brush fires that seem to be popping up. This would be a way of handling one of them, potentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if Brian Gutekunst recognizes that this is something that could get out of hand, not necessarily out of hand now, let's not, again, overinflate, but would trading Dobbs be a way to mitigate that brush fire?
Yes. Yes, it would. Because then they don't have to worry about keeping everybody happy. And, because he complained about his targets, but didn't even realize he was getting the most targets.
Mm-hmm. Thought he should be getting more.
Yeah.
It's if the coaching staff has any hesitancy of, all right, are we going to have to deal with that again? Like, if that's a thought you have to deal with, then you move on.
But does he at all deserve the benefit of the doubt that he did learn from the first situation? Again, this is the tricky part, right? It's like if you're in a relationship and somebody messes up, do you say, okay, I'm going to give you another chance, knowing that they could mess up again? And in this case, the mess up affects the dynamic. Maybe it affects your job. It affects something else other than just the one-to-one relationship.
This is as big for a football team. I think this is about as big of a mess up as you can have.
Players know when they're not coming back.
Yeah, he knows he's not going to come back. He quit on the team before he even knew that he probably wasn't coming back. And probably sealed his own fate by doing what he did.
That's why Elton Jenkins is doing what he's doing. That's the biggest problem. That is the biggest fire that the fire department has not showed up for yet. Because he seems like a guy that's going to stand his ground. And there's a part of me that agrees with him. What I don't agree with is you got 2 more years. If this was 1 year, then I could understand it. But you got 2.
Part of it is I think he's looking at that contract and going, I might only have 1 more year.
And he knows he's not coming back.
Yeah, but that's why he probably wants some guaranteed money this year and next, so he has that safety of being here for both years of that contract.
But he does have leverage.
Yeah.
He does have leverage.
What's the leverage? That he's the starting
is who's
center?
going to play center.
Right.
Right? You're going to move Zach Tom over there? You don't. Elton Jenkins has played center and played it pretty well. Jacob Monk isn't ready. Otherwise, they would have said, well, we're going to have competition at center.
I'm just sad.
Because it's cold.
Well, because you got,
I know.
You got his name right.
I didn't want to beat a dead horse.
I was just kind of hoping you'd make some
He
sort
got
of
the
cold
phrase
reference
right.
Like, who are you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you've changed.
I asked myself that.
Doing research, making calls, getting
I don't like this, Chewy. I want to get out in front of this. I don't, whatever this is.
I feel I might get caught, so I got to pick up my game a little bit.
Well, whoever gave you that impression, hallelujah, Josh.
Think Josh has the power to cut you?
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, all that digital stuff. I could be swearing every other word and not even be swearing. Who knows what he could do back there?
Justin weighing in the 262 saying, if you trade him now, could that show other players that if you pout enough, you get your way and are moved? So he's talking about the other side of it.
Chewy, does any player take a trade as a good thing?
Yeah. It's Darius Smith. Did he get traded or did he just get sent packing?
I believe that was cut.
Did they look at it?
I think it's if you know that you don't have a future in your current place, then being traded is sort of a godsend, right? It just, instead of delaying the inevitable, it just rips the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. I think that, if I was in his situation and I thought, because everyone thinks they're better than they are,
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I wasn't going to be number one, and I think I'm going to be number one, yeah, I would say, move me now, right? It's just, it's getting rid of the potential of a problem.
But
I will say this. If his slate was clean and there was no not showing up for 2 days and pouting and I'm not getting enough target, it'd be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
It'd be fine.
100%.
Wouldn't be a problem at all. They still have to massage it,
But whoever trades for him has to keep that in mind as well.
Yes.
And that's a mark that's going to be tough for him to overcome because when you're just, like you said, Shu, a guy who's probably number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want the number 3 who's going to be happy in his role or the number 3 who is going to pout if he doesn't get enough targets? Like, that affects his future as well.
Yes. Yeah, because no one wants a problem.
Versus handling it professionally.
You imagine if Jair was a model citizen.
Yeah.
If he was a model citizen, there was no going out as a captain when you're not a captain. All it was a playing thing.
Oh.
He'd be gone already. No one wants to take on that headache.
But he's good enough. If he was as good of a corner as Romeo Dobbs as a receiver,
yes,
he would have been released months ago.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
Which is to say, not as good.
Correct.
Yes.
As a receiver, as a cornerback. Just want to make sure I was following that logic. All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Got to get to top 8 at 8. That's coming up next. But before we do that, from the court to the classroom and the community, the Champions for Literacy celebration with Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will be an evening you don't want to miss. Join Wade and Diener on June 27th at the garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum and make an impact by raising funds for for literacy. Get tickets and full event information right now at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. That's wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Volume on the freeways and fog across the system remaining heavy this morning. Our slowest spot's going to be 41, 45 north and south between Watertown Plank Road and Appleton Avenue through construction, as well as 43 north from downtown up to about Capitol Drive and 43 south from Silver Spring down to about Keefe. Eastbound 94 from 68th Street through the stadium to 27th, going to be tapping the brakes there as well, and 94 north a little slow from the Plainfield Curve up to Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the Storm Team forecast for today, watching for the potential of severe weather, especially late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes, all possible. High of 75 near the lake today, mid-80s inland, clearing out tonight and down to 55. Dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors, Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam.
Talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your Green Bay football buddy John Kuhn here, reminding you to buckle up for safety whenever you get in your vehicle. Whether you're driving to work, school, shopping, or to catch the big game, remember, click it or ticket. Buckling up saves lives. Every trip, every time. Don't risk it, guys. It's not worth the ticket or the danger. Click it or ticket. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Brought to you by Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
At Ewald Automotive Group, they don't just see the uniform, they see the people in them. They will service those who serve, our brave first responders. Thank you for your dedication, sacrifice, and for keeping us safe. As always, service members and their families can benefit from the Military Advantage program with special pricing and incentives. And on every vehicle and new car sold this month, Ewald will make a donation to local military and first responder charities. Thank you from Ewald Automotive Group. As always, it starts at ewaldauto.com.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork. You pine. Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Show me chicken.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, Gabe, what do we got?
List of 8 things in front of me. You and Chew guess back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, we open it up to the fans on that Carbless Talk and Text line. 800-990-3776. Whoever gets the last one on the list wins an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. Straightforward list today. I am looking for the 8 pitchers with the most strikeouts in Brewers history. 8 pitchers, most strikeouts in Brewers history.
What? The what?
Did I stutter?
May as well have. 8 pitchers with the most strikeouts in Brewers history. Talk about not being in a wheelhouse.
I got it.
I don't think you do.
Who you got?
Steady Freddy.
Freddie Peralta just cracked the 1,000 strikeout mark. He is number 4 on the list. 1,001 strikeouts in his career. 4th Brewer to ever strike out 1,000 batters.
Well, I did see that on social media this week, so I suppose that should have been something I was, strikeouts. Gosh, you had to have played for a long time, huh? Or at least several seasons? Come on, Gabe, give me something.
You want me to go again?
Go for it.
Ben Sheets.
Ben Sheets, number 2 on the list, 1,206 strikeouts.
You want me to go again?
If you're ready.
Giovannis Gallardo
is number 1 on the list, 1,226 strikeouts. You gonna play today? Just gonna sit out?
My back.
You gonna Romeo Dobbs this?
This is from carrying me. God, those are really good guesses, Chew.
So far, Chewy has 1, 2, and 4. Jen has nothing.
Corbin Burns?
Corbin Burns, number 6 on the list. 870 strikeouts for Corbin Burns.
Woodruff.
Brandon Woodruff is number 8 on the list. 788 career strikeouts.
This is tough. Looking at the list, Gabe, how many of them will I know that are left?
Probably 1.
That's what I was afraid of. Kyle Loesch?
Scrolling. All right, you can go back to bed now.
Kyle Loesch with 374 is 37th on the list.
So no then?
That's a no. Also that puts him right behind Devin Williams. Not that anybody was going to guess Devin Williams, but the fact that a reliever had more than Kyle Loesch kind of tells you what that one is.
Kyle Loesch.
Dude, I'm grasping at straws here.
Sean Markham.
Yeah, they're all right there in that wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. Randy Wolf, by the way, was 38.
Oh,
see?
Nice
Just two behind Kyle Loesch.
Wasn't there like a Wellington or a
Well.
He gave me tickets one time and I blew him off, but I think he was
That is your favorite thing to do, is have somebody try to do something nice for you and then blow them off.
It's a 2-hour drive from Green Bay.
Brust blown off Jim Nance at the Masters.
Reset the list while he thinks.
Giovanni Gallardo is 1. Ben Sheets is 2. Freddie Peralta is 3. Corbin Burns is 6. Brandon Woodruff is 8. Kyle Loesch is 37.
Go Raleigh, even though I know it's wrong.
Raleigh Finger's not going to be in the top 50.
How long did he play in Milwaukee?
990.
2 years.
3776.
Yeah.
As a reliever.
Yeah.
This is the top 8 strikeout leaders for the Milwaukee Brewers all time.
Yep. Most strikeouts by a Brewers pitcher in history.
800-990-3776. 800-990-3776.
All right, you guys got 5. You got the 5 you should have. I mean, Chewy got 4 of them, but...
Hey, when you said it, I was like, this is not going to go well.
Well, you're doing the series with the paper trail.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe you would have guessed Giovanni Gallardo or Ben Sheets.
True, yes, that's true. We talked a lot about CeCe Sabathia.
Sure.
Ned Yost, Ryan Braun.
But those weren't the only players on the team. Turns out Ben Sheets was pretty good.
Yep. Giovanni Gallardo should have been guessed. Giovanni was hurt a portion of
Yes.
Ben was hurt a portion of that season as
Ben
well.
was hurt a portion of just about every season.
A portion of his career. 800-990-3776. First up on the line is Chef Ed. Good morning, Chef Ed. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Yeah, could you reset it quick, real please?
Giovanni Gallardo is 1. Ben Sheets is 2. Freddie Peralta is 4. Corbin Burns 6. Brandon Woodruff 8.
How about Teddy Higuera?
He's number 3 on the list, 1,081 strikeouts, so he is the 4th member of that 1,000 strikeout team for the Brewers.
And then I'll go way back. How about Jimmy Slayton?
Jim Slayton has the most innings pitched in Brewers history, so he is number 5 on the list, 929 strikeouts.
All right, one more. It's got to be a starter. Can't be a reliever. How about Larry Sorensen?
I do not have Larry Sorensen in the top 50.
Good run, Chef Ed. We appreciate the contributions. Let's go out to Dumpy in West Bend. Dumpy, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Let's go with Randy Wolf.
No.
I believe that was a shot.
Was it a shot?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, fair enough.
Sure.
Don't think it was a real guess.
Chico Escuela.
Not on the list.
Let's go out to Ted in the world. Ted in the world. Good morning, Ted. You're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How about Cal Eldred?
Cal Eldred, 686 strikeouts, number 11.
Still a good guess.
So close.
Yeah.
Almost as good as my guesses. Jason in Waterford, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Yeah, can I get a reset of the list, please?
All right, we've got 8. We've got 7 of the 8. Giovanni Gallardo is 1. Ben Sheets is 2. Teddy Higuera 3. Freddie Peralta 4. Jim Slayton is 5. Corbin Burns 6. We do not have 7. And Brandon Woodruff with 788 strikeouts is number 8.
How about Bill Wegman?
Bill Wegman, number 10 on the list.
That's the guy I was talking. That wasn't off.
Well,
started with a
W. Wegman.
Josh, that was close, right?
You blew off Bill Wegman?
Yeah. I mean, he's not in the top 8.
Blew off Cindy Crawford.
Yeah.
Clem in Brownsville. Clem in Brownsville, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Chris Capuano?
Chris Capuano, we're right around there. He's number 12 on the list, 643 strikeouts.
Good guess.
Brian in Oostburg, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete this top 8 at 8 list?
Let's go with Moose Haas.
Moose Haas struck out 800 batters. He is number 7 on the list.
Nice. I should have known that. I played golf with him.
Played
but he
golf
was
with
so
Moose?
short. He's short.
Moose Haas?
Is that 6 foot?
Yeah, he has listed as 6 foot here. Think that's a little false?
That's the Gilbert meter.
The what?
Good old Gilbert Brown. 330. Okay. Put both legs on the scale, sir.
All right, now I get it. All right, that was a good list. I'm sorry I couldn't contribute more to the success of the list, but good list by you, Gabe. Appreciate that. And who was our big winner this morning? Was it Brian in Oostburg? Terrific. Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is known for its endless ways to win. And Friday, June 27th, Potawatomi is showing why that is the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty roll into drawings, where $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. But you got to be there to win. Well, maybe you don't. You have to be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups aplenty right now. 4145 north and south between Appleton Avenue and Watertown Plank Road. That's going to be very slow, as it has been all morning due to the construction and just general morning rush volume. 43 north from downtown all the way up to Capitol Drive, going to be slow there as well. And 43 south from Silver Spring down to Keefe is just a touch slow as well. And checking the storm team forecast, a dense fog advisory remains in effect for our lakefront counties as well as Waukesha and Washington counties until 10 o'clock this morning. Then the threat becomes severe weather this afternoon into the early evening. Large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, all possible later today. Mid-70s for highs lakeside, up to 86 inland, clearing out tonight and down to 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, pumpkin seeds.
No, little suckers. They might be. What did you say before, Jen?
Sesame but those are white.
No,
white.
these aren't white. No, this isn't on the outside. This is on the inside.
Seeds on the inside.
Oh, yeah. So you got some sort of
scrotum.
On 94.5 ESPN.
To say, put the past away.
No better time than right now to update those windows and doors at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, because right now Pella offering up to 6 years, 0% financing. Fine folks at Pella were at my house yesterday, and we're doing it. We're putting in a new front door at our house. Of course, I was only going to be using Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Team, super helpful, gave me a couple of different options. They even were able to provide some AI-generated photos of what that could potentially look like on my front door. So set up your free in-home consultation just like I did. You commit to nothing at this point. They listen to your vision, suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality, and those customizations are seemingly endless. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends May 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today.
Face down the demons. Maybe today you can put the past away.
Both Joshy and Gabe said earlier this morning that the game they are most looking forward to is that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Sunday, October 26th, 7:20 p.m. on NBC. That is Sunday Night Football, and that is because they believe that Aaron Rodgers will be under center for the Steelers. Well, Chef Ed thinks that you guys are wrong. He says, I hate to throw a wrench into this system, but Rodgers will not be the quarterback in Pittsburgh. Tomlin doesn't want that circus in town.
Want to bet?
I think he's got no choice.
I mean, if Tomlin doesn't want the circus in town, then why are they still waiting for him? Why did they take the meeting in the first place? Him and Tomlin seemingly have a pretty good relationship, and that's always been kind of...
And it sounds like a mutual understanding of whenever this stuff gets figured out, whenever you are clear of the personal situation that you are currently going through, we gotcha.
I don't want to downplay whatever personal situation is, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't like the offseason. Doesn't want to participate in it. So him coming in halfway through or whatever he decides is what he needs to do is probably the outcome here, isn't it?
I mean, is he married?
Maybe.
I mean, that would be a reason why he doesn't want to go to Pittsburgh any earlier than he has to.
Well, right, but again, to Joshy's point, it's not like he has ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not new. That goes back to 2010, 2011.
Right.
Is that the personal situation, though?
Him getting married?
Yes.
No, I think there's more to it.
It feels like it's, like the health of somebody. I mean, again, it's all speculation because he didn't really divulge any details, but it seemed more serious than just getting married.
I thought we had discussed, scratch that. I know we have discussed whether or not Aaron Rodgers is wrong about thinking that him not being at the off-season workouts is irrelevant. We've said that, okay, you may not need the reps. You may not need to be out there throwing the ball to targets. But you know who needs you there? The targets.
Yeah.
These guys who want to work on timing, it's new no matter what. So it surprises me still that at this stage of the game, where there is evidence that supports that there is value to him being there, he might still be taking the stance of, I don't need to be there.
Which is weird because when Brady went to Tampa Bay, Brady was at everything, and Brady's tough to play with because he'll get in your mustache. But the fact that he was at everything.
Yeah, but I mean,
did
Rodgers,
he lose his competitive grind? Or does he just know that I'm never going to be what I was? So,
but again, this goes back to 2010, 2011, Chew. Because they didn't have an off-season workout because there was a lockout heading into the 11 season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he kind of realized, I don't need that much of an off-season to get rolling, because he won his first MVP in 11. They didn't really have an off-season workout because of COVID in 2020. Won another MVP then. He has just never been a fan. He's been one of the guys that during CBAs has been advocating for less work in the offseason.
I mean, the discussion of him being the best ever is out the door. Would you agree?
Yes.
Correct.
But again, what does that matter when you are a first ballot Hall of Famer?
For him?
Obviously, it doesn't matter that much.
I guess.
How much juice does that game lose for you if he is not under center?
All
he is
of
not.
it.
Literally all of it.
There you go. Might not even watch, Jen. And you know what? If he's there,
don't you make empty
if he
threats.
is there, Might not even watch because it's at 7:30. But hold on, wait. Oh, definitely not. Up in Florida. That's 8:20. Oh.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph versus the Packers. You ain't staying up for that one?
I'm out.
Well, hold on. Can you at least give us a guarantee that if Rodgers is the quarterback, you will watch?
How long?
He'll catch the highlights in the morning.
He's going to negotiate.
How long? 3 quarters.
8:20.
Oh, God, no.
No.
This is negotiating, Gabe.
Halftime. Halftime. Depends where they're at. I mean, because I was sitting here going, all right, what's worse? Did you go through a worst case scenario for him, Gabe?
I mean, what? I mean, they
Worst
lose
case is they go 1-3 to start.
1, 2. Who would they lose? So they'd lose to the Lions, they'd lose to the Commanders, and they'd
lose
lose
to
to
Cowboys.
Okay.
I mean, so what? Best case? I mean, best case, worst case is always just weird to me because wouldn't best case be 4-0?
Yes.
No, that's delusional.
But that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
mean,
you know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
said that earlier in the show, too. My
Yeah.
brain was like,
Yeah.
but I just let it roll.
All right, let me ask you this. They can lose to the Lions. They can lose to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
They're not losing to the Browns. They can lose to the
Correct.
Cowboys. They can lose to the Bengals.
Yeah.
Can they lose to the Cardinals?
No.
They can lose with Rodgers. They can't lose to Carolina.
No.
Lose to the Eagles. Can they lose to the Giants?
I don't think so.
Lose to Minnesota. Lose to Detroit. Can they lose twice to the Bears?
I mean, so what? Worst case scenario is 4-13.
What's worst case?
That's what I asked you.
9-8? No, 9 and what? 9
Yeah,
and
9
8?
and 8. Yeah.
Well, let's revisit. Joshy, do you remember what the over-under was at Potawatomi for wins? Was it 9.5?
9.5.
Yeah.
You still feel good about over 9.5? Looking
Yes.
at the schedule, the way it's
Yes.
shaken out, we knew who the opponents were going to be, but now you know when they are, and you know where the bye is and all that stuff. Again, this stretch at the end of the season, where it's Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings, feels heavy. There's no breather there, is there, Chew?
Not with the Broncos are good. They're not great. They're not Super Bowl, but they're playoff.
It's Sean Payton and Bo Nix, right?
Yeah. With a very good defense.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm down on Minnesota this year. J.J. McCarthy's going to be going through growing pains. Like, he was a quarterback that probably needed to develop in the first place, and then really didn't get any of that last year because he was out with an injured knee.
So do you have them splitting, or do you got them losing twice?
I have them beating Minnesota twice.
That's bold. People still like Minnesota. They're top 10.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't care what people think. I care what I think.
Oh, look at the individual over here. Stand strong in your conviction, Gabe.
I mean, we saw what they did when Darnold didn't play well.
Yeah, but Darnold sucks.
Okay, so go through the schedule very quickly and give me your guaranteed wins. You are guaranteeing, barring an injury to a major player of the Green Bay Packers, you are guaranteeing the green and gold come out on top.
Browns, Cardinals, Panthers, Giants. Those are probably the guarantees.
Bears won. One of the Bears games.
I don't like that they're getting the Bears at the end of the season twice. I don't like that there's 13 days between the Bears games.
That's interesting. That's weird.
I would prefer to catch the Bears at the beginning of the year, if I'm being honest, right? As they go through their transition period, as they work Ben Johnson in, as they, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because the teams you're going to play, say, in the first 3 or 4 weeks are going to be close to full strength. And the fact that they got 3 tough ones out of the gate is not, I don't like it. And I don't like the way it finishes. I don't.
But, you're going to have, again, it's a tougher schedule. It's a tough schedule no matter what.
Which is crazy because I thought it was going to be an easier schedule because they had the third place schedule instead of the first or second like they have in the past.
Yeah, and I think that's always been kind of the crutch in the NFL. But it really comes down to what divisions you're playing. Because that's more important. Because last year they got to play the AFC South. And they got away with going 1-5 in the division because they swept the South because it stinks in the AFC. But now you play in the toughest division in the NFC, and you're playing one of the toughest divisions in the AFC. Because you've got to take on the not the Bengals and the Steelers and the Ravens. Because the AFC North is pretty good.
So would you rather have a gauntlet like they had last year? Remember the gauntlet they had where, like, there's 6 games in a row here that they could lose? They don't really have that this
they
year,
do.
but the start and the finish is I don't like.
Yeah, 12 through 18 is kind of that gauntlet.
I
Chewy.
don't like the start. I don't like the finish. I don't like where the bye is. Is there anything that you do like about the way that the schedule has shaken out?
Battle tested.
Yeah, look.
Spin cycle over there.
Well, no, I like that it's tough to start because you find out pretty early about what this team's made of and how good this team actually is. All right, I'm sick of this.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be a referendum. Sure, but I don't want that to be a referendum on how the whole season's going to shake out. I think
if you go 0-2, kind of rubber stamp.
Oh, wait, what is that stat in the NFL?
Yeah.
Teams that start 0-2, 10% or something like that?
Yeah.
Playoffs.
So, don't ease your way into the regular season. You got to jump in there. You've got 3 preseason games. You've got an entire training camp. Presumably, they're going to have joint practices. Hit the ground running. Don't ease into the season.
What is Matt LaFleur's record in season openers?
Not very good, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I didn't think it was either, but I'm going to check. You probably are going to beat me to it. We're racing.
All right. So last year was a loss. The year before was a win, so 1-1.
Okay, I thought this was going to be a lot easier to find.
Lost to New Orleans.
How many seasons has he been coached? 5? This will be a 6th?
This should be 8, I think.
This is
right?
8?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Win against Minnesota.
They got blown out
Win
in
against
Jacksonville.
Chicago.
Right, against New Orleans.
So he's got 2 losses, 4-2.
Yeah, it's better than I thought it was going to be. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It doesn't sound like the guys are finding a ton of positives in the schedule, but maybe you guys can help us find something to be optimistic about now that we have seen the Green Bay Packers schedule. Live listening, show replays, exclusive content. It is all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN, the Wisconsin sports fans' best way to stay in touch with their favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows and keep up with their favorite teams. You can find the new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores. If you haven't already downloaded the app, what are you waiting for? It is one touch to listen to your favorite shows.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Brothers Milwaukee, Champs Americana Brookfield, Double D's Hales Corners, Ray and Dot's Greendale, and Who's on Third Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle-Gro garden soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls. Right now, get 50% off your windows plus no interest and no payments for 12 months and a free entry door with your window purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm saying if we collectively, all the people in their cars, all the people listening on the YouTube stream, all the people listening this morning, if we all do it together, there's power in prayer, friends.
Yes, there is. Blessed be Father, for I played man.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy, and that's where our friends at Mentality can help you. Just like they've helped me over the last handful of years, I've been so glad that they're a partner and that I get to work with them because they're a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Be tired, groggy, don't feel like yourself. Don't have that energy to attack your day that you once did. Kind of described me, but I thought, I'm just getting older, roles changing, going from an afternoon show to a morning show. Well, turns out the testosterone levels were low. And they can do that for you, too. You go through their process, book an appointment, lowtusa.com. Get a blood panel done. If your testosterone levels are low, you get to work with Mentality. And they'll put together a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. And every 12 or 13 weeks, you go back in, make sure that those levels are exactly where they need to be. So go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
We've gone over the must-watch games. We've gone over the toughest stretches. We've gone over the fact that Gabe thinks there might be 4 guaranteed wins on the Packers schedule right now. Look, it's going to be a doozy, but you don't want to make it into the playoffs easily. I guess that's the spin cycle we're doing this morning, right? Battle-tested, said Joshy a little bit earlier. We got to get out of here. Wildy and Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
Backups aplenty right now. 4145 north and south between Appleton Avenue and Watertown Plank Road. That's going to be very slow as it has been all morning due to the construction and just general morning rush volume. 43 north from downtown all the way up to Capitol Drive, going to be slow there as well. And 43 south from Silver Spring down to Keefe is just a touch slow as well. And checking the Storm Team forecast, a dense fog advisory remains in effect for our lakefront counties as well as Waukesha and Washington counties until 10 o'clock this morning. Then the threat becomes severe weather this afternoon into the early evening. Large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, all possible later today. Mid-70s for highs lakeside up to 86 inland, clearing out tonight and down to 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 94.5 ESPN.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay